Mr. President, in these days of high ethics and morality, I have to comment on this legislation and why I'm going to vote to sustain the governor's veto. When this bill first came to the floor for a vote, a number of amendments were put up by the Senate Republicans, which we believe would have greatly improved the legislation. Those amendments were defeated by the Democrats as they went lockstep with each other. The people of this state are looking for openness, transparency, and greater accountability, more bipartisanship, and disclosure. Last year's budget, which was negotiated behind closed doors, which increased taxes by $11 billion, payroll taxes, license plate taxes, et cetera, and spending increases by about $13 billion. We were told, and the public was told, that you didn't need Republicans in the room because everything is controlled by Democrats in New York State. And we saw the disaster, economic disaster, of that approach. What's happening today with the attempt to override the governor's veto, now one of the individuals that was in the room, it's been decided by the two legislative branches that they're not happy with him, that he's hurting politically, so they're going to just give it to him a little bit more, rather than sitting down with him and showing him the respect as governor. Could have been this afternoon, could have been tomorrow, showing him the respect of as governor to sit down and at least afford him the opportunity to present his point of view in legislation and sit down with the four leaders, staff, and really discuss the legislation to see if compromise could be achieved. Now, just about every newspaper in the state has weighed in against overriding the governor's veto. Daily News said legislators should come up with something better. The New York Times, which I know many of my good Democrat friends from Manhattan just do whatever it says. They wake up with it, they go to sleep with it, they walk with it, they just follow that blindly.
Senator Skelos, how do you vote?
Excuse me?
How do you vote?
Yeah, I'm just finishing my statement. I think, Mr. President, a number of people went over the 2 minutes, and this is an important piece of legislation, if I could comment.
There's been one person who we identified going over, and you're the second. So
thank you for the courtesy. I go through that. The Syracuse Post-Standard, Rochester Democrat and Chronicle, Albany Times-Union, New York Post, Buffalo News, all said that it should not be overridden, and that we should sit down in a bipartisan way and make it a stronger bill. Many of them have called for specific improvements. For example, allowing the Attorney General to be the Chief Enforcement Officer. Good government groups, such as Common Cause, has said it could be improved. And the New York City Bar Association has also called for more disclosure by attorneys, basically saying that attorneys shouldn't be treated as a privileged class when it comes to disclosure. So if the veto is sustained, I would hope that we can start negotiating 5 ways in a bipartisan way and really improve this legislation, because so many questions have been raised. Enforcement.
Senator Skelos.
In the Board of Elections, left to the Democrats. Not the way to go. That's not bipartisanship.
Senator
So
Skelos,
I thank you, Mr. President, again for the courtesy of allowing me to extend my comments a little longer than they should be, and I will be voting to sustain the governor's veto.